What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Silicon Tech. Now, WWDC 2022, of course, Apple revealed a whole bunch of features and new things with the different operating systems between iPadOS, watchOS, macOS, and iOS. But one thing I didn't touch on in my last video about the presentation was the new version of Carplay that Apple revealed. Now, if you know, Carplay is kind of mandatory to anybody with an iPhone and a car that's capable of running it. It makes the drive so much easier, just being able to handle your navigation on your car's infotainment screen, because the thing with car manufacturers and their infotainment systems and the software that run it is most of the time is not very good. And that goes to show you these companies have a lot of money, and you would think the technology wouldn't be a big deal to get that squared away, but that's not the case. So with CarPlay and even Android Auto, Apple and Google are able to use their software expertise and bring that to those cars. So being able to run that navigation for you to be able to take phone calls, messages, and the biggest thing is the voice control. Now, if you ever use a car's native voice control, it's a very tough experience, and this goes from some of the cheaper to mid car brands even to the luxury car brands. It's just not a good experience. So CarPlay and Android Auto are definitely a big deal when it comes to just everyday ease of use of your car and enjoyment of the drive, because I know I definitely get more enjoyment out of it. Now, on to the new version of CarPlay. Now, with the current version that we have, it's only doing the primary screen in your car. So that infotainment primary screen, that's what CarPlay is going to run on. Now, as cars have progressed and technology has progressed, they've been able to sway consumers with just more screens. So current cars or modern cars have digital dashes where a lot of the information that you'll be looking at, such as the speedometer, the odometer, your tach, are all digital, and you can kind of change things to your liking and a lot of adjustments and user customability. And not only do they have those primary screens, they also have secondary screens too. So more and more screens, but as I mentioned before, the software hasn't really gotten better. So what Apple is going to do with this new version of CarPlay is say, hey, why not give us more range with these additional screens that you have? So now CarPlay is going to run on pretty much any screen that you will have in your vehicle. And with that, Apple is expanding their software and just UI. So at WWDC, they showed just Apple Maps running on the digital dash and their version of the speedometer, odometer, and just all of that data that you're getting from the engine of the car being put into a UI system that I would assume you would be able to customize to your liking as well. And then having those secondary screens and some screens for certain cars going all the way across the dash, they use that as an example to be able to show what other features and information there will be able to put there. So information that we don't have with the current version of CarPlay, such as the weather, even the radio tuning of your car, and more functionality of the car, such as the HVAC system and other settings. So I would assume like the seat controls. So your iPhone is essentially going to be able to control the whole car in a sense. And that is a very big deal. One, car manufacturers have kind of thrown Apple the keys and said, hey, we've done all we can for like the years and years that infotainment has been a thing in cars, and they haven't really made much progress with the software. So being able to hand Apple those keys and give them the free range to not only the entertainment factor of the car, but just the functionality of the car as well is a very big deal. One, for the iPhone user, and for Apple, because at the current moment Android Auto doesn't do anything like this. So when this does come out, Apple will have one up on Google. And the biggest thing for Apple, I think as well, is it's going to give them a head start on their software for their car. So it's been rumored that Apple is coming out with a Apple Car sometime in the distant future. So I think this is a good experiment for them as well. When that car does come out, they can have a lot of trial and error with what they're going to do with this new version of Carplay. So the hardware of the car, the actual car itself, is going to be a whole another thing, and I'm going to talk about that a little on my next Silly Crown rumor reaction. So what are your thoughts about the new version of Carplay? Are you excited about Apple or the iPhone being able to take over more screens? Let me know your thoughts. Now, this should be coming out sometime either later this year or maybe next year. Apple didn't give a detailed date on it, but I would imagine it will come out before the next WWDC. So let me know your thoughts on it. Like the video if you did. Just that. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing. Catch you on the next one. Be easy and peace.